Messiah is basically a very long piece with biblical texts. Taken like that is not very interesting, but it sort of very loosely tells the story, a religious story about the coming of the Savior.
Literally every word of this is from the Bible, so you could claim for the sacred. But I believe the message that the New Testament represents, which is about half of the text, is about the secular. So it's kind of hard to, I believe Handel meant it to be for the not just church-going audience, but for the guy in the pub.
I mean, it really is about all the things that make up a life: birth, death, rebirth. I mean, it's the story.
The fact of the matter is, it was not necessarily meant to be performed so much as a sacred piece, but as a theatrical piece. Handel's a great opera composer, and there is a very theatrical element to it that I think adding staging, adding choreography, adding a through line sort of emphasizes, and which you don't necessarily get in a more religious context.
That unique storytelling by movement, by their bodies, by their arms, their legs, their singing, their voice, it's all kind of one big whirlwind.
I'm not a singer, so I had to be really aware of the diaphragm, the breath, where they're singing. Obviously you can't be singing facing upstage, so movement patterns had to be adapted to that. In rehearsals, we usually do like a 10-15 minute warm-up, which is all cardio and jumping around and get them sweaty and out of breath, and then play with that, like what happens to your voice when you are going full out with your body. I think in general, everybody in the audience will find the Messiah more approachable. It's definitely a much more relaxed context. I feel like people will palpably feel that in their seat, like their bodies will actually relax watching the movement on stage, and it'll probably help them respond to the music in a different way. When everything gets a little bit more physical, I feel we sort of just let down our formal walls, and hopefully they'll hear something different in the music because they're seeing something different.
A lot of the things that we do are musical events that you go to, and the venue and the fact that you can drink and the people who are there and the way it's staged and the chill factor, all of these things sort of come together to make it an entirely different experience, even if you were listening to something that's, sometimes we do repertoire that's very standard like this, but the experience is entirely new because context is everything.
People were eating poutine at our last Messiah, and that's something I'm very proud of, that they feel relaxed enough to eat and drink but still come to Messiah in one of our shows. There's something about not bringing your stereotypes into our shows, which I don't think most people do, but I guess with this work it's like taking something that you're so ultra familiar with, and if it's not done the way you like it, you can get very passionately upset. And so we like to stir passion, whether it's for good or whether it's to kind of challenge people. I think that's good for art and good for music, and so it's not necessarily about that feel-good, happy Christmas memory.
We didn't make them stand, they just stand. Isn't that a thing? Like, you just can't stop them.
I think we kind of made them, though. I think we had one chorister come out screaming, "Everybody stand up!"
Like James Brown?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Get up! Get up!
Like a sex machine.
Yeah. Whereas we're adding new special effects.
CGI.
Can't say what it will be, but you'll want to come for that.